Best disaster prevention services in Houston, Texas. We are Houston's top disaster prevention service provider. Call us 24/7 and we will dispatch our water damage restoration experts to you ASAP. Disaster prevention refers to the strategies and actions taken to reduce the risk of natural or human-made disasters from occurring or minimize their impact if they do occur. It involves identifying potential risks and hazards, developing emergency plans and procedures, and implementing measures to reduce vulnerabilities and protect lives and property. Disaster prevention can involve a range of activities, including public education, building codes and zoning regulations, infrastructure improvements, early warning systems, and emergency response training. The goal of disaster prevention is to minimize the impact of disasters and ensure the safety and well-being of communities. Disaster prevention services are primarily focused on identifying and addressing potential risks and hazards that may lead to natural or man-made disasters. The need for disaster prevention services can vary depending on the location, type of business or property, and the likelihood of a disaster occurring. It is always best to have an assessment conducted by a professional to determine the risk level and whether disaster prevention services are needed. Disaster prevention measures are common in Houston, Texas, given its susceptibility to natural disasters such as hurricanes, flooding, and storms. The city has experienced several severe weather events in recent years, including Hurricane Harvey in 2017, which caused significant damage to homes and businesses. Disaster prevention services typically involve a thorough assessment of a property's vulnerabilities to natural or man-made disasters, such as floods, hurricanes, fires, and earthquakes. Customers can expect a customized disaster prevention plan that addresses their specific needs and concerns, as well as ongoing support and consultation to ensure their property remains prepared for potential disasters. Disaster prevention services are usually called upon before a disaster happens. If you want to prevent disasters such as floods, fires, or other disasters that can cause significant damage, it is a good idea to call an expert in disaster prevention services as soon as possible. Disaster prevention aims to prevent or mitigate the impact of natural disasters, accidents, and other catastrophic events. The best way to solve a disaster prevention issue is to have a proactive approach by identifying and assessing potential risks, developing and implementing preventive measures, and conducting regular training and drills to ensure readiness and response efficiency. The cost of disaster prevention services can vary depending on several factors such as the size of the property, the type of disaster being prevented, and the specific prevention measures needed. It's best to consult with a professional to get an accurate estimate of the cost of disaster prevention services. However, it's important to keep in mind that investing in disaster prevention can potentially save you a significant amount of money in the long run by avoiding costly damages and repairs.